Good morning, everyone. It's a great morning because Guild Wars 2 has announced the next title expansion or sub expansion, I guess you would call it, for Janthir Wilds. It is called Janthir Wilds Godspawn, the sub name Godspawn. Very interesting name, especially considering what I heard in one of the recent achievement, sort of side achievements you can do, or side stories, I think it was. One of the characters talks about how these things are not gods, but they're claiming to be gods. They're claiming the title of gods, but they're not. So this is an interesting title name. Kind of makes me think like maybe they're a demigod, possibly. And one of the gods in Tyria has actually spawned these things. It's coming November 19th. They've released a big studio update. Let's go read it. But first, let's watch the announcement video.
Shh, quiet!
Let me tell you a story. One the Ashmakers will weave for centuries to come. The day the Wayfinder and I crawled to the top of Mount Barrior.
Dangerous it is.
Indeed, it is a story of allies pitted against unrelenting challenge. The fight for survival. The tools we used to carve out legend. The sting of betrayal when affection has just begun to bud.
So, what happens?
Well,
Well, the first of the 3 updates for Guild Wars 2 Janthir Wilds. Alright, let's slightly, possibly break down the trailer a little bit. I like this storytelling thing that they're doing, where, you know, it's like it's already happened, and he's explaining to them what happened in this tale of us, like a tale of, you know, remember that Avatar episode, Tales of Ba Sing Se, and you see like the tales of all the different characters? I don't know why it reminds me of that. I finished that recently with my girlfriend. Alright, so nothing crazy interesting here, except that's like, I guess, what we have to go up. We have to go up this mountain. I'm not sure if this is the map itself, or if this is like part of the map, or if this is just like the convergence, or it's something separate. Well, the convergence is supposed to be the same pretty much as the raid, right? But there's an open world version, I think, of the raid. So this might be the raid they're demoing, not the convergence. So yeah, that's actually a plethora of new content coming if you think about it. Like there's a raid, and then there's an in PvE, like open world version of the raid. Then there's a convergence as well. So I'm assuming this is new pieces of armor that they're dual wielding axes. That's cool. Oh, how I dreamed to get an astral area. I should work on that. So I think this is showing the open world raid here. And this is part of the map, I guess. This is some of the other portions of the map. It looks pretty big still. I'm assuming the open world raid goes from one end of the map up the hill to the other. And the top is like kind of where you do the main fight. It looks like there'll be mechanics in the raid. That's really cool. Even for open world, I'm assuming it'll be there. What the hell was that down there? Creepy looking, right? All right. So the legendary spear is called Klobjarn Spear. If we go back to 48, we can get our first glimpse of what I'm assuming is Klobjarn. Kinda hard to... There's the effects of it. Oh, that's cool. It kind of lights up in the front. It's like a Norn mixed with... Well, it's a Lowland Coden style weapon, right? Like it's a mix between Norn and like... I don't know, what are the Coden... What is the Coden theme? Like, are they like an alternate version of Vikings? I've always akined Janthir Wilds to kind of like The Witcher a little bit. And the music sounds a lot like The Witcher. And it's like Viking Nordic kind of themed. So I think that's kind of where they're going with this. It has like rune inscriptions as well, so that makes me think a bit of magic and Nordic hints again. Oh, nice. What is this? Is this just a Revenant effect? Because that looks sick. Does it mix with different classes, the colors? That's cool. If you look closely in this trail, you can see inscriptions being written as you swing the weapon around. I'm very excited to continue more of the story, especially with this. This was so dramatic and really great. Looks like a big boss with a lot of mechanics. Hope it doesn't take too long, and I probably prefer to do it in raid style. And I'm looking forward to trying this as a raid. For my first, like, I would love to do this as my first official entry into raids. I've done raids before, but not to the extent of finishing one, like, fully. I don't know, I wonder how much of a raid it is, like, how much content there is in the raid. But if there's, like, 3 wings, kind of like the other raids, then it'll be my first fully fledged raid completion. So, let's try. And looks like it's utilizing the power of Bloodstone. Whoa. Did not... Well, I don't want to say I didn't see that coming, but I guess I didn't really think about it. I guess I didn't see it coming. Even though there's bloodstone scattered all around the map, I thought there must be some connection. They must be doing something, and that's it. Okay, I'm a little confused at the way they've written this. Maybe I got it wrong earlier as I was explaining it. They've got raid and convergence written together at Mount Balrior. So perhaps there's a convergence version of the raid instead of a open world version of the raid. There's no mention really of a map, so I think they'll probably explain more in the studio update. Get the legendary weapon, story continues. New homesteading mastery, adept handiwork and crafting, new decorations for the homestead, that's cool. New vault refresh, of course. New collections and relics, interested to try some new ones. And just more achievements and rewards. Yeah, alright. Now let's read this thing like our life depends on it. Greetings, Tyrians. It's hard to believe it's already been a few months since Guild Wars 2 Janthir Wilds. As we wind down 2024, let's give the community an update about all things Guild Wars 2. Our 5th expansion added one of the most requested features of the game, homesteads, and it's been wonderful watching the creativity of players as they decorate new homes. You also got to experience the beauty of lowland shores and survive the dangers of Janthir's century with your new allies, the lowland Coden. With the Coden's help, you were taught to wield spears and ride the Warclaw like you'd never have before. But Guild Wars 2 Janthir Wilds has just begun, and in 1 week, you'll be able to join forces to tackle our first raid in 5 years, craft a new legendary spear, and continue your story with the Lowland Coden. The map looks very interesting. I wonder if we can actually use these geysers in some way this time. Guild Wars 2 Janthir Wilds Godspawn. Godspawn, the first of 3 major updates, is coming on November 19th. 3 new story chapters will continue your adventure against the threat of the Titans. Will you and your allies be able to uncover a path to securing peace for the inhabitants of the Isles of Janthir? In addition to new story chapters, there will also be a new raid and convergence. The new legendary spear Klobjarn, along with a newest vault season relic weapon and armor rewards, mastery update, and new homestead decoration. So basically what we just read before. So I'm guessing the map, well, we'll read more, but I'm guessing the map, like, there's an open world map, of course, and then there's a convergence, perhaps a convergence version of the map, and then a raid version of the map. We get very familiar with this map. That's a cool image. What is that? A lot happening in here. Raids are back. Next week's update, we'll be introducing our new 10-person raid, which will take you to Mount Balrior. Wait, what am I saying? Okay, so wait, the raid and the convergence are at Mount Balrior. The map, open world map, is probably not there. That's where the raid and convergence are, because it would be confined to that spot, I'm guessing. Features 3 bosses and several smaller varied encounters that will test your coordination and adaptability. Nice, so it does have 3 wings, per se. At the heart of Mount Balrior's narrative are Greer, the Blightbringer, and Decima, the Stormsinger. Oh, these one person, yeah, right. Greer, the Blightbringer. They're the narrative heart. The 2 titans you battled in Janthir's century. After their defeat, they've retreated to Mount Balrior to recover and regroup. This time they won't be alone. Their raid versions bring back the chaotic, relentless attacks of Greer and the structured, strategic mechanics of Decima, but cranked up to new levels of intensity. Expect familiar moves executed in ways that will keep your group on their toes, along with a few completely new surprises that Greer and Decima have in store. So that's exciting because they're able to reuse the same characters, but in a good way. Like, they're not just throwing them in there to fight them again. They're actually, God, my hair is like crazy right now. They're actually setting them up to be like, they set them up in the last one to be here for a purpose. Like, this is where they retreated to, so we go after them basically. But that's interesting because I really want to see how that actually ties into the story, where before we let them go to save ourselves from the other one. So I like the idea though. Embark on the new convergence in Lowland Shore. For a different flavor of group content, we are also launching a new convergence in Godspawn update. Like the Convergence, Guild Wars 2 Secrets of the Obscure, up to 50 people can participate in public squads every 3 hours. With private squads able to start anytime. Expect a challenge comparable to the Guild Wars 2 Secrets of the Obscure Convergence bosses, with most groups completing it in 20 to 30 minutes. In this story journey, Alder, the Claw of the Lowland Coden, narrates your adventure to young Coden cubs, adding unique story twists with every playthrough. Oh, interesting. Fans of Greer and Decima will find familiar attacks, but with adaptations that make this event a fresh experience. As our first multi-purpose map, Mount Barrier includes hidden passages and adaptive designs, setting the stage for future rotations of bosses and a challenge mode arriving later next year. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into what's next for both raids and convergences in an upcoming blog later this week. What? What is this? A world versus world. Wait, so I'm confused because now I'm really confused. It says the new convergence is in Lowland Shore. So was I right the first time, where there's a convergence separate to the raid, and they're using a version of the raid in the open world map, and then they're doing a raid version of the map? Is that what was right the whole time? I guess there'll be some more information in their blog post later, but I think that's what's happening based on the information so far, because they haven't really specified the map name of Godspawn, unless it is called Mount Balrior, which I think it is. So I'm gonna just gloss over the world versus world. By gloss over, I mean like totally skip, because I'm not really interested in that, and you're probably not interested if you're watching me. You're probably not that interested in hearing about this, and if you are, just head over to the website and you can have a read of it. But I don't really play that mode, so, although I do play it more than PvP, because you kind of have to. You have to get a gift of battle, but that's fine. Guild Wars 2 is on the Epic Game Store. It will be making its debut later this month, and we're thrilled to welcome a new batch of players. Nice. Guild Wars 2 has been captivating players for the past 12 years, and we are excited to make Tyria even more accessible by partnering with Epic. Keep a lookout for on our official platforms for a release date and an epic new Guild Wars 2 trailer soon. Okay. Wrap up 2024. While this year may be coming to a close, there's still plenty of things coming up for Guild Wars 2. November and December will also include more events: a 2-week New Hero Jumpstart event, a birthday bash for Yvonne Nashblade, and Winter's Day coming up on December 10th. Lunar New Year and a second skills and balance update will be coming along near the end of January 2025. I love Lunar New Year. God, almost Lunar New Year again. I remember playing last year's one. Or this year's one, rather. Around then, or a little after, we'll be back to talk about the next few months of Guild Wars 2. Here's a little roadmap thing. November, Godspawn launch. God launch, what? January, return to Icebreed Saga. Here are some dates, upcoming events to close out the year. And finally, as a reminder of what's still to come in Guild Wars 2 Janthir Wilds in 2025, we have this handy content chart. Oh, so handy. So update 1. Oh, right. Okay, I forgot that they changed this, or they always had it, but I don't know, they did something, and then they like swapped out not having a map or something like that in one area. Okay, yeah. I forgot that there was not a new map with this one. My bad. You waited to the end of the video to realize that there's no map, and so did I. Or almost as if I was talking to myself just then. So, okay, that makes sense. Right. So there's no new map. That's why there's no name of a new map. And that's totally fine. That's great, actually. I'm happy to continue the story in these places. That's really good. I really like that. We have more time in these really great maps to explore. Not that we haven't done all our exploring already, but the maps are really well made. I like them a lot, so I'm happy to stay in these maps and just be able to appreciate them more and get more used to them as well. And then that makes sense. The raid wing is called Mount Balrior because there's a new map that is for the raid specifically. Then the convergence takes place in the Lowland Shore. So that's really cool, actually. I'm super excited to try the convergence in Lowland Shore, which has had no meta. And then obviously it's going to be an instance, but it'd be cool to see what's gonna, or where they're gonna take it and what's gonna happen in there with the convergence. I wonder what they're gonna update for the masteries in the next 2 updates. We get map 3 and map 4 and update 2 and 3. They're really pumping out the relics, aren't they? I'm assuming one of these is gonna be for each of the masteries, or 1 or 2 of the different masteries, not all homesteads. I'm hoping one is gonna be for the Warclaw. I don't know if one will be for the map benefits or bonuses, because that's already got a ton. Get the legendary spear this next update, so that'll be a huge thing to work towards, and that's honestly plenty to try and work towards to get that. Then we get a 1 armor set, 1 weapon set, and yeah, some other stuff in the next one. We get 1 new weapon set in this coming one. Then we've got a legendary backpack coming in update 3. That's cool. Excited for that. And another weapon set. Cool. I think that's it. All right. Thank you very much for joining me for today's awesome update. So happy to see this. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.